this next question is a little bit outside the ballpark, but I thought it was a fun question.
One for just the philosophical debate of what matters to this question. But the question was, which NBA players would you select for a 5-man dodgeball team? And I know before, while Nico was working on some of his audio setup, Dylan and I were discussing what matters most in a dodgeball team. So, Nico, I'm going to give you a chance to chime in. What do you feel matters the most, or what skills translate the most from the NBA to dodgeball?
So I think you have to be somewhat elusive. You don't get hit all the time. You can't be a clumsy guy. You can't be Steven Adams. And you got to have a bit of you have to have a nice arm so you can throw high velocity. I have no idea what I'm talking about because I've never played dodgeball, but
you guys don't have PE in Denmark?
We called it stickbolt, but it's not exactly the same game. So I guess
I wasn't expecting Denmark to not have dodgeball. That wasn't something I was prepared for.
We have dodgeball. It's just called. I don't know why we have it. We have our own name, dodgeball. But I don't know.
All right, Bill. I'm gonna put Dylan on the spot first. But Dylan, give me your 5-man dodgeball roster.
I don't think I got all the way to 5 guys, but I'll give you a couple who I'm considering and my thoughts behind it. So to Nico's point of guys who are elusive, you don't want a guy who's too big and a guy who can throw. And I'm going to add in one more quality before I give you my team captain. Is I want a guy who's got a bit of edge, a little bit of nasty, a guy who's gonna really hone in and abuse a guy with a dodgeball. So my team captain and my first overall pick is I'm going for CP3, who's 6 foot tall, pretty elusive. Back in his younger days, we saw those hop steps and little floaters, and a guy who can throw the ball and who's going to be absolutely pissed if any of his teammates get hit. So that that's a little bit of extra pressure. So CP3 is my number 1 pick.
Here's my number 1 pick. So I'm gonna have to pivot and say that in dodgeball, one of the best things you can do is catch the ball, because that both gets the guy out and gets your player back in. So I guess in this case, my number 1 pick is going to be Kawhi Leonard.
The claw.
So there's one more quality I think is important. As far as I know, you have to get into the center of the field right away at the start of the game. Yeah. So you need some speed, right? Yeah. So you need some speed. And I was thinking about speedy guys who is also elusive.
Don't do it. Don't take him.
No, I'm thinking about John Wall, actually. He's got a bit of girth. He's got a strong arm, I'm sure.
Yeah, he can throw a basketball for sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go John Wall as my captain. He's also a great leadership guy, I think. John Wall. Let's go with John Wall.
I hadn't planned for this to be a snake draft or for this to be draft style, but I'm loving this. Do you want to go back?
Yeah.
Do you want to snake it, or do you want to just keep going 1 through? Let's just circle.
That's the first.
Let's not snake it. Let's give us time to think.
Okay, then Dylan, you're back up for your second pick.
Yeah. All right. This one is going to be a little bit different. Maybe not a guy who you expected to come up because he's pretty huge, but based on his ability to be an absolute freak athlete and a guy who I can just imagine being an awesome dodgeball player, despite being like 6'9" and 250 pounds. I'm gonna bring in my captain's banana boat teammate. I'm taking LeBron James as a guy I think is super fast. Ask Andre Iguodala about that. A guy who can absolutely, probably one of the best bullet passers in the game, if not the best bullet passer in the game, and a guy who's just a crazy athlete. There's talk of him, could he be like a wide receiver in the NFL? So I think he's catching balls out of nowhere as well. And then just, that court vision is going to translate to seeing where those dodgeballs are coming from and evading them by his incredible ability to see everything in slow motion.
Well, I can't believe you're going to leave this guy on the board for me to pick, but Facundo Campazzo, go for the short guy with some good playmaking skills. I'll take that. I want some elusiveness. Already got the size and catching ability of Kawhi. So yeah, that's my second pick.
Okay, so I'm imagining how an amateur dodgeball game would look like in America, and I'm sure there's always this one dad, the guy that's taking it way too seriously, and is always killing the young guys on the floor. And I'm just instantly thinking about Joe Ingles. Like, he's gonna talk so much trash, he's gonna look so weird on the floor, but he's just a winner. And I'm picking Joe Ingles as my second guy. He's like the trash talker.
We didn't think about it, but having kids might be a distinct advantage. Like, if you're willing to, some of these people probably haven't played dodgeball in years, but if you've got kids and you've got that switch in your brain that says, I will throw at a small child, you're going to be a killer at this game, right?
No, so I'm taking it next level. So this is the dad who got kids and plays with his kids and always wins. And that's Joe Ingles.
I love it. Dylan, who's your third pick?
Let's go back in line with a slightly smaller guy who's elusive, great hands, gets a lot of steals, and also great passer of the ball. I'm going to get Ricky Rubio.
I can see that.
Who can throw an accurate pass.
Also, nobody is throwing at his face. Too good looking to get a ball in his face.
Exactly.
So I was thinking about this way harder than I should have, because this is really not a meaningful question in any way, shape, or form. But you don't want a player that's going to, have a bad throw. Like, you don't want wasted throws. So I'm going for Monte Morris, who is like the king of assist turnover ratio. I want to make sure that these are on point, that if people aren't catching his passes. So, he's my third pick.
Yeah, he's not going to give it away.
Yeah. So I got a little bit inspired by your Kawhi pick. He's not the only guy in the league who's got big hands. And I'm just imagining that in dodgeball, you probably need a guy who's bigger than all the other guys who,
You already got Jingles. He's not big enough.
No. He's not big enough. This guy, he can stand in front of like 3 guys at the same time. So you can hide your best players behind him. And his reach will probably catch balls at each end of the floor. So I'm picking Boban Marjanovic. He's both a fun guy, so the team will love him, and he's got the hands to catch every single ball on the dodgeball floor.
Yeah, got to keep up morale, sacrifice a guy.
Exactly. You need to do that at some point.
He's probably got a cannon and an arm too. Just, if he winds up and chucks it, that could
It's a
hurt.
whole lot of leverage.
He's the Serbian trebuchet.
Exactly. We were talking about the Senegalese trebuchet last week.
Yeah.
Oy.
Man, I got to say, Nico, I don't know if your team's going to win the game, but they definitely sound like the most fun. That's the team I'd want to be on.
Right, fourth player.
Let's go. Oh, God. Let's go small and fast and good passing and long arms and big hands. And let's make a totally predictable pick of Rajon Rondo.
He also would have no problem throwing at a kid's face or, someone else's face, or someone's on the ground. He's just going to just line it up. Yeah, it's a great choice.
Yeah, my team's going to have terrible chemistry. Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo are going to be yelling at each other throughout the game. But I think that'll motivate them to take out their fury on Boban.
People is going to call Rajon Rondo Chris Paul.
Yeah, my favorite dodgeball player, Chris Paul.
Man, I'm really inspired by your Boban pick. And now I'm trying to think who is the biggest, strongest guy I can get that's just going to arm cannon this way. Because, it might not be accurate, but it's going to be going at his speed. I don't think people can catch it. I kind of want Zion.
Yeah.
He's going to whip it at people.
And he's going to have that surprise agility where he's just jumping over the ball when you're throwing at him.
Yeah, you aim for the leg, he jumps once, and then you aim at the legs again, and he jumps twice. It's that second jump speed. Finally putting that to use.
Zion playing dodgeball would be weird though, because he can't move side to side at all, so he'd have to be facing side on to the other team so he can run forward and back, because that's the only way he can move quickly.
Well, I think that's the strategy, right? You want to show him the least amount of body, so you turn sideways.
With the shape Zion's in, I think that might not be a
he's perfectly round. He's the closest you get to a barrel shape in the NBA.
Are you trying to give
so-
me an excuse to use my favorite joke of he's not in basketball shape, he's in the shape of a basketball?
Oh, that's good.
Yes. Okay, so I think my team is a bit on the big side at the moment. So I have John Wall, he's a big guard. I have Joe Ingles on the bigger side, and Boban is huge. So I need some smaller guys now. And there's a elusive guard running around in San Antonio, who I know will bring his A game and effort to the floor. I'm gonna go Pat Mills. He's like 100% effort. And
Petty thrills.
He's elusive. Yeah.
I thought you were going to go with DeJounte Murray, and I was like, oh, yeah, he's got good hands. He's quick. He's skills. And then as soon as you said Patty Mills, I was like, that's a much better pick.
And he got the headband on. He's a perfect hit.
That's
perfect
a part of a dodgeball player.
Yeah, for sure. He looks like he's a fair competitor.
Final round.
All right, last overall pick. I think I just stay on theme, and man, this is tough.
There's a lot of good options out here.
There are, man. I was trying to decide whether I go for another small guy who you're not going to be able to hit, or whether I go for a guy with a little more arm. I've got a few small guys. Let's go with someone a little bit bigger. Let's go with Lonzo Ball. No, I take it back.
Go bigger. You go bigger.
No, I'm going the other way. Back in line with the LeBron theme. Have you guys seen Steph Curry throw a ball?
No.
I mean, it's very precise.
It's very
one of the
precise.
shooters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, based on his incredible ability to throw a ball accurately from the top of the arc, from the corners, from the tunnel, from the stands, from half court, and his ability to cross over into other sports. He's what is he, like a semi-professional golfer as well?
Yeah, that hand-eye coordination is legendary.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent there. And a guy who's pretty quick, who's elusive, who's competitive, underrated as a passer. So I'm gonna use my last pick and not take a big man and go Steph Curry.
I'm picking my team in one way, thinking that my team is going to play your team. And I was looking at Emmanuel quickly, and I was looking at Matisse Thybulle, of like small guys that can be quick and good hands. But when you went with Steph Curry, that edges out my guys. I can't have either of them. So I'm going big again, and I'm taking Bam Adebayo because he's got the passing technique. And I heard in one of the draft workouts that Miami put him through was just having a bunch of coaches chuck like basketballs at him, and he had to try to catch them or deflect them. And I don't necessarily need deflections, but like if you got a bunch of people chucking basketballs at you from different angles, you're probably decent at dodgeball, right?
Yeah, when you're on a team with Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler, I can only imagine that at some point they're playing dodgeball. That's got to be part of the Heat's training regime.
Jimmy would have also been an excellent choice because he has no mercy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can't shoot though, so I have questions of his accuracy.
Oh, true.
You can't hit threes anymore.
You could also pick like Tyler Hero. I mean, it's not a long time ago he played dodgeball. And,
that's a great tactic. You go for a young guy who's most recently played high school. Was most recently in a high school PE class.
Quick, someone find out if Poku's got some dodgeball skills.
Oh, he would be nice because you couldn't hit him. He's so slim.
Turn sideways.
Yeah.
Oh, we did just find out, Nate, that dodgeball isn't really a thing in Europe, so you gotta stay local.
Well, Nico, you the last pick. So who's rounding us out?
So I actually think I'm having a bit of a theme at the moment. With Joe Ingles and Pat Mills. And the moment Dylan said Steph Curry, I was writing a name down. I actually had two other names on my list. But I need a Steph Curry stopper now. And there's one guy
Tony Douglas
also leave everything on the floor, and probably the only guy I've seen spend the night on the hospital after a game. I'm picking Matthew Dellavedova, certified Steph Curry stopper. He's a warrior, and I have three guys from Australia now. I think, yeah. So I have three guys from Australia. That's gonna have some chemistry and some toughness, and they're gonna be fierce. You want to know who else was on my list?
Yeah.
Give us the honorable mentions.
I'm actually surprised we haven't mentioned Bol. His wingspan. I'm sure he can like throw the ball like out of the.
when his arms take up half the court, it's like, where do you hide those arms so they don't get hit?
Yeah, he's gonna get hit so quickly.
Yeah. But my initial name before Dellavedova was actually CJ McCollum, just to get that babyface guy who's also like just going to hide in the corner and hope there's nobody aiming at him.
Hey, Portland's used to hiding CJ on defense, so he should be used to hiding.
Yeah.
Damn, shots fired.
So yeah, great exercise.
This was fantastic.